All right, hi everyone. I think we're live. I was gonna check on my phone, but anyways, I'm here with Matt the Lesser, and we're doing the Premier League stream for this week. And so, first of all, I guess just hi, Matt. You can just like say something.
Yeah, absolutely. What's up, everyone? Happy to be here again. I've somehow become the regular caster for the Premier League this year. So this is 3 out of 3 games. So on 3 different channels.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Three different channels, three different games. Maybe we'll go for five for this. Okay, it does look like the stream is live, so I was just checking that. Can someone in the chat? Okay, I think they can hear both of us. I think it's fine. It seems like it is, but I'll try to keep an eye on that. Anyways, so let's get into the game. The game started. We're on Fjords, so I'm a fan of that. I think you are too, Matt. I'm not totally sure, but yeah, I find Fjords a really fun map.
Yeah,
It's
I
always
love.
lots of
No, I
stuff,
love Fjords. Yeah.
lots of econ, lots of expansion, lots of structures. Oops, gotta turn my own volume off. Okay. Okay, so looking at the setup, what do we have? We have base factions. We got the standard faction set. No extra endgame scoring. Are there landscapes? Nope. Okay, landscapes are off. So it's Fjords neat, it looks like. We have dwarves in, so Firexed put dwarves in the auction. Always a good faction on Fjords.
Yep. And
Eh.
a relatively low scoring track with big building, temple, big building as you're closing 3 rounds. Dwellings and TPs early. So yet more goodness for dwarves with some built-in inherent scoring.
Yeah, the track looks really nice for dwarves. Round three dwellings, like they're gonna want to spam out dwellings then. Although I guess they could even do it earlier. The no earth cult rewards on the track is like a little sad for dwarves, I find. But you
Yeah,
have
that's true.
workers round four, you got coins round five. Like those late cult rewards are gonna come in big, I think, for dwarves. Or like they'll definitely use the round five coins. The workers can be useful for dwarves as well. What else do we have? So we have chaos magicians in second seat. Redrame putting them in, kind of immediately creating a bit of a messy matchup here. And
Yeah.
looking
Chaos
at
is an
the
interesting one in this setup.
yeah, go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say Chaos is interesting here because you feel like they often do better with some good late round scoring, and then also on Fjords particularly, they really like to advance their ship to 3 and spam out to all these reds, but there's no ship scoring in the game. So that feels a little complicated for Chaos.
Yeah, no ship scoring, and the late game track is bad. Like we got big building temple, big building rounds. Chaos definitely prefer to score a little more on those late rounds. But you do have round three dwellings, which if Chaos has a good early economy, that's the perfect time for them to spam out to get like the 2 to 3 ship plan, get all their natural reds, build a ton of dwellings with Earth One. You have temp ship in the game, which can be really helpful for Chaos for doing that kind of plan. But if I was Chaos Magicians, like I would have my eye on that round three dwelling round, and I would try to plan a game plan around hitting that super hard.
For sure. And especially with a color neighbor also, like you gotta get those reds before the dwarves get to them.
Yeah, do they compete much for reds on Fjords? I'm trying to think about it.
Not
Um,
not nearly as much as yellow, but there are definitely some that they still like.
yeah, let me get the hexes on so I can actually refer to the important hexes. I guess B5 is probably one that dwarves can like for connection. They don't need it, but yeah, Chaos will probably beat dwarves to B5 actually. I guess we'll see more kind of as the game progresses here. So we have
Yeah,
Mermaids
well,
in
and if chaos
C3
start
to
on,
add to that.
yep,
And so yeah, interesting with no ship BP, we have Chaos and Mermaids in the game. Both of which are factions that really
yeah,
like ship BP. So they're gonna have to both find other ways to score in this game, not involving that bonus.
yeah. I mean, this is a game that could actually encourage some taller scoring, taller playstyle with the taller late game buildings and no ship VP and yeah, I wonder, especially with some of these factions, you could slightly see them play a little less expansionary than normal.
The track definitely is an out then up track, right? You got like the dwelling grounds 1 and 3, and then it's just all low scoring, big building. So that makes a lot of sense. There is dwelling VP in the game, which always kind of favors more expansion in general, but you can still use that going tall. Of these factions, like dwarves on fjords probably go more expansive unless they're sandwiched, but we just have halflings put in the game, so they're not. But maybe we'll see a taller chaos game. That's the one I think faction here that could go
Yeah,
taller.
yeah, I could see that, particularly with the round 4 big building round means that worker reward can often lead to like a round 5 big advance and sort of dig out a couple towns around where you already are instead of trying to go crazy. For any faction, really. Halflings is an interesting one. So it gives us a really nice color wheel. 2 color neighbors, 2 factions without one. Um, so it shouldn't be too contested over hexes, at least.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on halflings on fjords, Matt? Like I think people think they're really bad, and I just think they're more difficult to play, more so than bad. Like they're not inherently like amazing on fjords, but like I always feel like they're playable, and I always think really fun because you have so many different options. But it's often hard to find like the best path. It's my thought on them.
I think in a setup like this, they can actually be pretty good. I think one of the reasons halflings are often tricky on fjords is because black and yellow are both pretty good colors on fjords, and so you see them a lot. And if either of them, or especially both, are in the game, then obviously that's a lot worse for halflings. But in a game like this with no color neighbors, I think they actually could do quite well. Um, this like H on the eastern or sorry the western fjord here is always really good spot for them. And then the one tricky part will be is if they can beat I don't know where mermaids are going to start, but if they can get D4 and get that E6 to C7 line, those are the 2 stretches that if you can get both of those as halflings on fjords, then you're looking really good.
Yeah, and I think well they should be able to get D4, but the question will be E7. It depends where chaos starts. Do they start D3 or do they start E5? Like
Yeah,
usually as
fair.
chaos, I find I start E5 with mermaids in the game especially. I don't know how dwarves changes that dynamic. Like I we'll see I guess once dwellings are placed. That's what I would do as chaos. I would just wait till all the dwellings are placed and
I
figure it
yeah,
out.
I think I guess chaos gets to place last, so they'll know. But the problem with D3 is if the dwarves are on C6, right? So either they start there or if
Yeah.
they start on E8 and then build there with their first action, it just makes your life really complicated.
It does, yeah, and because dwarves are ahead of chaos in seed order, like dwarves could start E8 and tunnel to C6 immediately. Like I don't know if they would, but like that
Right.
immediately puts that risk of starting D3 as chaos. And I guess you beat halflings to E7, and but then what if dwarves tunnel to F6? Like you're just trapped there. Okay, so I don't think you start D3 as chaos. I think it's too risky looking at that now.
Yeah, I think it's got to be E5, and mermaids will almost certainly be on E4. So you've got a neighbor. It's not the most amazing, setup, but I guess the one thing that's nice is that like without there's a chance you can get a sanctuary town off of E5 without a bridge, which is always a really nice bonus on this map as chaos. The question is where mermaids put their second dwelling, because if they start on G6, then you're not gonna get F5. But if they don't, then E5, F4, F5 actually feels possible in this game.
Yeah, that would be super nice. 'Cause you get a lot of leech as well from like so, assuming halflings would come to G5, dwarves on G4, mermaids going
Mhm.
to F3. Like that's a nice little leech spot there for chaos. So let's look a bit more into
Yeah,
bonuses.
yeah.
Like I'm wondering. My biggest question here is: do halflings take spade, or do they take temp ship and do some kind of like dwelling rush round one? Because halflings have options for that on fjords. It would guarantee them double dig, so they could start like H4 or even H2 and double dig H3, H4, F2, and then their other dwelling on B2 and go A3. That's kind of wild, but but like have temp ship is really interesting for Brown, I think. They could also go E6, take a priest and go to 2 ship and go C4 or G7, or you just take the spade and you're happy with that too. Like I don't totally know which I would do, but they're both intriguing to me. And I guess mermaids get whatever you don't get,
Yeah,
whatever you don't take.
right. Yeah, I wonder. I mean, if you're halfling, The temp ship is tempting partially because it is really nice for mermaids, and mermaids with the second ship on this can dig in some really annoying places. Admittedly, not so annoying halflings specifically, but like if you're on E4 as mermaids and you like dig D2 with your first hex, it's throwing, it's just putting you in a position where you can mess with a lot of people's game plans. Um, so yeah, also the guarantee of double dig, but it kind of depends on where halflings put their second dwelling. It's probably E6, but I could see an argument for G7.
Um, yeah, G7 if you want to, I guess, if mermaids go to F7 is kind of nice. G7 can make a lot of sense. I mean, E6 isn't threatened. Like, there's no concern for that hex. I mean, I love like the idea of B2, but I think it works a lot better with green in the game. Like mermaids are never going to start B1 and join you there. Like you'll get a neighbor eventually, but it's not as strong without green. But I think it's a weird situation where
Yeah,
I feel like
I don't think that's worth it.
no, I don't think so either. But I do kind of think Tempship might be better than Spade for halflings. Maybe more of a gut feeling than anything, but I think I would do it. And it's kind of cool when you get those situations at least where Spade isn't like the guaranteed obvious bonus to take.
Yeah, that's true.
And there,
It definitely throws a wrench in things. Do you think Chaos then takes assuming those two go first, do you think Chaos takes Priest or Big Building?
oh, that's a good question. I forgot big building was even in the game. So actually, we didn't really go call over it fully, but like the bonus set is missing ship BP, it's missing coin cult step, and it's missing worker power. So yeah, we do have four like quote unquote good starting bonuses. And yeah, that drops big building or priest to chaos. Oh boy, I'm not sure. I mean, seeing a round one fire reward makes me really tempted to go priest. And then round
Yeah.
four fireworkers, round five. I think I'd go priest. I think it's a really good priest.
I think I would too. Dwarves obviously prefer that too because they would much rather have the workers than the priest. Um,
Hmm.
Given it's an Earth reward, the priest doesn't do that much for dwarves, but it's just kind of nice for everybody. But I agree. I mean, and chaos can start easily. Still, just start sanctuary here and try to save the major dwelling expansion for round 3, as we were talking about.
Yeah, I like that plan a lot. The priest of fire really helps kind of spur that. Like I know the power reward is probably the weakest cult reward, but early in the game, it's still I think power the first couple of rounds is really good in general. So I think that will really help to
Yeah,
to
I mean,
get
if it
round
helps
three
them
going
get
for
like a
them.
double dig in round 2, it's huge. Yeah,
Yeah, double dig in round two, or just like I don't know, tons of coins actions, save priests, round three, just go crazy. I could definitely
sure.
see that. Where are we at in the
Yeah,
auction right now? So mermaids are down 13 points. We have mermaids at 27. We've got halflings down
yeah. I was
70
just
at
gonna so
33. Hmm. I mean, everyone feels pretty reasonable here, no? Like, I don't think this is an auction where we should see a huge spread. I could be wrong on that. I haven't fully, like, I guess anyone that does a Dwelling Rush round one looks pretty good with this track. Like, I guess if mermaids get a ton of, if mermaids start with temp ship and get like a full dwelling rush round one into a ton of TPs round two, we have the dwelling VP bonus, the TP VP bonus in like they could score a lot of points with that. So I guess I could see them being bid down. I can see why they're bid down here.
yeah. Yeah, I think that's right. On the other hand, it is a very low scoring track, which just it always makes me hesitant to bid any faction way down on a low scoring setup. So, and dwarves, are really quite good on this map. I'm kind of surprised no one has jumped to them yet. Chaos doesn't surprise me as much that people are a little scared just because they are fragile. They have a color neighbor, no ship scoring. But the dwarves, I would have jumped to dwarves already at this point.
Yeah, I'm gonna predict that Kodom right here is gonna jump to dwarves. Let's see if it happens. But I no, I mean dwarves
He
are good
has
in
run
this
his
map.
timer down quite a bit.
Oh, he's thinking. Yeah, okay. Ah, that's wrong. Half
Oh,
wins. But yeah, dwarves are not only are they good in this map, but they're also in first seat here, so they're going to get a lot of leech, and they're in first seat with a good starting bonus, which is like a really nice combination. Usually in first seat, or often in first seat, you have to settle for like a mediocre round one bonus, but in exchange you have tempo on a lot of things. On power actions, you get a lot of power, but dwarves kind of get the best of both worlds here. And I don't think chaos really bothers them that much. Like dwarves can get around fine. I guess the question, or one of the questions is, will dwarves connect, and do they care about connecting? I mean, don't totally know, but maybe that's a something to consider, I guess, for people for dwarves here.
Yeah, the connection on this map is usually either through you can go through the north, right? The A7 and then A5, B4, B5, something like that. Or you can try to snag with a tunnel either F5 or H6. All three of those seem possible but not like super easy. They're all kind of semi-contested. So, it'll be interesting to see which if any they try to go for.
Yeah, if Chaos get the three ship round three, then H6 is contested. B5, they'll definitely Chaos will want
Right.
B5 pretty badly, so that'll definitely be contested. And I think Chaos likely win the race to B5. I find it hard to believe dwarves can win that. So yeah, so it actually with no landscape, it actually is a little dicey. F5 I think is a big hex
It's a
then.
little trickier. Yeah.
And
H6
if
is also a hex that the halflings can sometimes be interested too if they're
mm,
trying to cut all the way through. They have other options, but it doesn't mean they wouldn't take it.
right, and yeah, I guess the question is how much dwarves care about connection. Like I think dwarves are fine playing point scree, playing culty. Um, and with mermaid, I think here like mermaids are likely to win network, and halflings should have a pretty big network at least, having no color neighbor. So I don't know, maybe network for dwarves. And dwarves like no earth rewards, so dwarves maybe don't have great plays on network, but I think they can score a lot of points. Spades in the game for them, dwelling BPs in the game for them. They like the TP tile and the big building tile. Like I think it's a really good track and bonus set for dwarves, with the exception of the earth cult rewards missing. And so yeah, I feel like they're a good deal at this point, and so we do see Firexed jump the dwarves.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with all of that. With the addition that I think this is actually potentially a very good setup for dig bombing dwarves too,
Ooh.
where there's not a ton of points at the end of the game, but the early dwellings might encourage a lot of worker production. Um, I could see him stocking up.
I like that. It's so weird to dig bomb on fjords as dwarves because you have so many grays you can tunnel to easily. But here, like just for the points of it makes a lot of sense. And I don't know. Again, if Chaos are doing a huge shipping spree, you do have we didn't talk about it, but there's always this blue-gray dynamic where like with mermaids and dwarves or mermaids and NGs or whatever, where they fight for F3. And it kind of looks like mermaids are going to win that fight because dwarves aren't going to be able to dig it with their first action. And looking at dwarves expansion routes, like that takes away D1 probably. There's a chance that Chaos beats
Yeah,
dwarves to D6 if they go to three ship. And once you see that, then it's like dwarves don't have a lot of expansion space. And so that kind of again leans towards the dig bombing idea. Like if you're out of expansion room late, you just
yeah,
stockpile workers, advance dig, get your stronghold up, and throw some tunnels into the ground, which it works really well here in a low scoring track, like late game big building events. Like it actually kind of fits the setup really well, really nicely.
yeah, yeah. Well, and if your potential path of halflings taking temp ship and double digging H3, and then mermaids take the spade, if they dig
Mm.
F3, or dwarves could start on G4 and be immediately boxed out in the first round.
Yeah, do you think this will be a one town dwarves game? There's a shot at that for sure.
It's it's definitely possible.
And that's not ideal, but it's still not the end of the world. Like I think dwarves can get by, but it is a bit of a damper. Like I dwarves would definitely rather have two towns. No matter what your strategy is, I think two towns will always be better. But yeah, that's a really good point. They can
Yeah,
get boxed in super easily here. And even with just chaos, the color neighbor, it's really halflings and mermaids that are actually, in a lot of ways, the biggest threats to dwarves, at least early on in the game. And it's such a weird thing about fjords
yeah,
that's kind of cool.
yeah. You get some color interactions on fjords that you don't typically see on other maps.
So I'm also now I'm starting to wonder when to jump to chaos because chaos starting with a priest with double fire rewards is definitely like a pretty solid, like as well as round three dwellings. And again, as long as you play for that and hit that hard, like you should have a good game as chaos. I guess we haven't really talked about cults much. So the main cult battles are, well, it depends. Like, if mermaids open Dwelling Rush, they're not going to be very culty, or not, at least not until later. Halflings, if they open Temple, I guess will have some cult presence. Dwarves and Chaos will definitely be fighting on cults. It's unclear who would get Tukey Town and like how that would shape up. But I think if Chaos can like secure a really good cult position here, I think they could have a really strong game. Like I don't see why not. Even without Ship
Yeah,
EP in,
yeah,
they have plenty of ways to build their economy in the cults. And yeah, like you said, the three shipping path on Fjords is so good for Red, so they get that. They score a ton of points, and they have their economy up and rolling for round four. Like that, if they can accomplish that and do well in cults, I think Chaos could be in a good spot.
yeah. The one
Might
thing
get a
about the
lot.
three shipping and fjords in general is you're investing more priests into shipping early, and so you may not get as many of the three. Like you might only get like one three spot as chaos. So the cults might be a little more contested. But on the other hand, as you said, we might have multiple factions opening with dwellings, and this is not a particularly culty set of factions. So I agree that I think if things break right, chaos could have a really good cult game.
And they could compromise. Like they don't have to do the full three ship plan. Like there is a spade in the game, for example. So maybe it end up on that and kind of maybe just go to two ship, but do a couple digs somewhere. Like digging D1, get some to C3 and E1 on two ship. From B5, they can
Yeah,
dig A7 if they beat Dwarves there, get to A9, then dig C8. Like there's other options other than three ships. So like that definitely should be considered for Chaos. And then they could play more culty. But it's hard to say right now how that's gonna play out. But yeah, they definitely have. I think on Fjords, like Chaos tends to have options. Like it's not like on base map where they can get really cramped in, for example, or even lakes they can get really kind of shut down if you're not careful. Like Fjords is just like such a friendly map that there's almost always something you can do if you manage your economy properly. I think as Chaos. Hmm.
yeah. I think that's right.
So
I was just thinking about if we think chaos is going to get single dig in round one because they would really love that single dig to grab F4 if they're not going to open sanctuary.
mm.
Which with the priest, then you got to take the workers, which I mean, obviously doable, but I think that would also be valuable. But I wonder, feels like it'll circle back to dwarves first, or maybe whoever between mermaids and halflings takes the spade could actually end up taking it first. Also, like you might get dwarves and chaos shut out of spades in round one.
Yeah, Dwarves certainly aren't giving Chaos Leech with their first action. Unless Chaos
No,
start D3 and Dwarves tell them to C6, but that's not happening. We know that's not happening.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, Chaos will have to wait in action for sure. But I mean, if they don't, that's fine. They just take workers and go Sanctuary, right? Like workers aren't threatened here.
yeah, I guess it's balanced.
I don't know if that's. It's hard to say if the single dig or opening Sanctuary is better. Like they're both pretty good. It's hard to pass up all that leech on F4. Like if you get single dig, right? That is a really good hex for
Yeah, that's
Chaos.
what I was thinking. Yeah, well, and also just if you do that, then you're in quicker position to ultimately get the town. I think. Um,
Yeah, although it is okay. Now looking at this, it's possible
hard.
that Chaos Center Town gets cut off, right? So they get F4. They're not getting G4. We don't know if they're getting
Totally.
F5. C4 Halflings can rush, and D2 Mermaids can take. Like, there's actually no guarantee. The center town is a bit of a risk. I didn't see that until now. That would hurt for sure if Chaos don't get that center town. But I still think it's not the end of the world. I think they can get
I think
by.
it's pretty unlikely they don't get any of those hexes. It's possible.
Probably. Yeah, okay, because I think to lose C4, Halflings might have to open temp. Oh, no, but if they want to go three ship round three, Chaos is not going to have any tempo on C4. So they might have to fight for that a little harder than normal. I could definitely see Mermaids taking D2 and F5 pretty quickly. It's like I don't know, it's hard to say, but Chaos might have to do an inefficient double dig to secure that town if they want it, and that might hurt them early on.
Yeah, it's
That I
yeah,
can
it's
see.
possible. It's possible.
Fickle saying he'd definitely be on CM by now. Priest of Fire, Open Sanctuary, hit round three hard. Yeah, you're preaching to the choir here. And I think if I was Chaos, I wouldn't overplay the town. Like I would just play to hit round three, and if I lose the town, I lose the town. We can make up for it after. Maybe I mean another option is oh I don't know if I like that, but like single dig F4 and delay the Sanctuary until round four. I don't know. But there's some flexibility they have here, I guess. Oh, you could oh no, you could single dig F4 round one, do a second temple round two, and then ship expand round three. That could work.
Oh, nice. Love that.
And then you could do
Yeah.
Sanctuary round four,
Well,
hit
I'm
the
surprised
track
too.
super
Actually,
hard.
that chaos is sitting so long because yeah, that would be aggressive. But maybe, yeah, if you did it that way.
Yeah, but like you said, I don't know if
I
they're
was just
getting
gonna say the
single
last
dig.
game. Yeah, I just don't know if they're getting it. The last game, Chaos was also the 40 faction and went later than I was saying it should go on the cast, and then Fruity took it and won. So you would think that these players would have learned something by now. Admittedly, not on Fjords; it was on Fire and Ice, but still.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of funny. Would you jump to chaos now, like seeing the evaluations of these factions here?
I I think so. I'd be hard pressed between Chaos and maybe bidding a couple more points on Dwarves, but I definitely like Chaos relative to Mermaids and Halflings at this point.
Yeah, I think mermaids are low. I also think the like Dwelling Rush is really good, but the value of it isn't quite as good when you have a round three dwelling round as well. Like other factions will also score dwellings then, so it's not like you're getting a massive advantage. I think at least. I mean, I guess mermaids can do dwellings round one, TPs round two, dwellings round three. Like if they can do that, that's super nice. But I don't know how good that is, how easy that is to do on fjords. Like it's not a bad mermaids map per se, but they don't have like a ton of natural blues that are easy to expand to without digging. Um, and
Yeah,
so it's not like Fire and Ice where I think they could like do something like that. Like I could be wrong. Maybe they can hit it. Like if mermaids can do that, that looks really strong. But I kind of think they're banking on that. And there's no ship VP. There's no like really good backup plan for mermaids to like smoke points later in this game. They might have to go for. I mean, they'll want three towns, but like maybe they have to fight for a fourth town, which could be really good, but like also can be difficult. Although, I mean, thinking about it, dwelling rushing into four towns is a pretty strong plan. Like no matter what the setup is, and this is a decent setup, enough setup for it. But yeah, it's a lot of points. They're
yeah.
20
If you
points
can,
under right
the
now.
problem
I
is if
mean,
you dwelling rush, normally your dwellings are spread out enough that finding them, then turning them into four
mm,
towns can be tricky.
yeah, that's true as well. And okay, Redrame jumped, so
If
we got our game.
he did, yeah. If I had temp ship as mermaids here, by the way, I would, it's a little less of a dwelling rush, but I might consider digging F3 and G3 because then you run that line and you set yourself up for an early town and can also those hexes will all have neighbors and you can build TPs in
Mm.
round two. You probably get one fewer dwelling down than if you dig some other hex, but it can work pretty well.
Wait, that's really cool. Because with round three dwellings, you can just build the dwellings later. Like it's you still score for
Exactly.
them. You don't, yeah, your worker economy isn't quite as good, but you make up for it with the early town. Like you probably have a really good cult game doing that with two key town and oh, okay. And there's a TP tile in the game. Like if you can hit that with round two with that TP round, that would be super cool.
Oh
I
yeah.
hope we see that. But I think you could do that with a spade too. Actually, if halflings take temp ship and mermaids take spade, then I think mermaids just spade F3 and then they like maybe
Yeah,
single dig
you just
G3 if they get it.
just single dig for the same thing.
Yeah, that looks really good too.
Yeah. Yeah, the
Um,
only the only downside of it is if you do it with the spade instead of temp ship is if you have temp ship you can also throw a dwelling down on B3 just for an extra dwelling, but that's not the end of the world.
mm, that would be nice though. What do we have? We have mermaids at 20, halflings at
It's the first way
26,
you
dwarves 32, chaos 40. Um, yeah, I feel like I like chaos. I think they can. There's double fire rewards. Like we talked a lot about round three dwellings. I think they can score enough points here. I think they can do well. They can build their economy nicely. I think. But I'm also a sucker for the 40 faction in general, so I definitely overvalue 40 factions. I don't know, something about that points lead is just so feels so good.
So Eirik threw his first dwelling as dwarves on C6, by the way.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah, so kind of defending against chaos, even like considering D3 makes sense, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's a little interesting only in that overall. Who do we think that benefits?
Sorry, I got disconnected for a second. My headset got disconnected. I missed everything you just said.
Oh, I just all good. I just said that it was Mermaid started over here on F7, which means that now and they did get temp ship. So
Hmm.
dwarves probably have to consider just building E8 with their first action unless they risk losing it. And I think that if it were open as mermaids, you'd really have to consider taking it.
Do mermaids want it? Like, is it that good for mermaids? I get that it's a two
I
for
mean, just
one, but don't they have better hexes to dig?
getting to D4 feels really good, right?
Maybe. I don't. It's a natural blue, I guess. It's like two hexes for two digs. It's a good talent spot, but I feel
Yeah,
like mermaids want F3 more than that, right? And if they
yeah,
don't take F3
probably.
now, then they risk. Like I think dwarves definitely take F3 next round if mermaids don't take it now. So I still think dwarves might tunnel the E8 first action, like just to I don't know. I mean, I guess they can upgrade G4 otherwise, but actually this is kind of really weird. So Chaos took big building and not priest, and so dwarves are starting on the priest. Yeah, it's not as good for dwarves. I definitely rather have the workers, and man, if I had those workers, I might just do a bunch of tunnels as dwarves and call it around. Three tunnels, like that could be kind of fun.
Yeah,
But with the priest, it's a bit more difficult, I think. Huh.
priest to air. That's an
Um,
interesting move.
yeah, immediate priest to air, huh? I think he wants single dig. I think Eirik is playing for single dig here. That's the only reason I can
Yeah,
see him
that's
doing
got to
that.
be what. Yeah.
Whoa!
Wow.
Didn't see that coming. Okay, really? Wait. What are your thoughts on that? Redrame does hard dug F4 as chaos first action. Wow.
I don't love it if I'm being honest.
What's the
I mean,
rationale? The
the
rationale
leech
is
is
it's.
yeah, the leech.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I don't. I don't have an immediate answer.
It's got to be for the leech, right? And then he's not getting single dig. I guess that's pretty
Yeah,
clear.
I guess.
Hard dig's always good.
Right.
George in the chat. I get it, but like I know the leech is good, but is it that good? It's not like F4 is contested. Like they're getting F4 one way or the other at some point this game. How much more leech are they getting from that hex right now if they took it now versus round two? Yeah, my gut instinct is I don't like it. Like immediately, I disagree with it. But like I'm really curious because he just did it immediately. Like Redrame, it wasn't like he spent much time thinking about it. Like I guess that was
Oh, that
his
decision was
intention
made.
with taking big building. Yeah, must I bet it was made in the
Yeah.
auction. Huh. Yeah, I think I would rather Sanctuary. If I was to go big building tile, I think I would rather just Sanctuary as Chaos. Um,
Yeah, I mean, it's
I feel
also just like that incremental leech. Like, just take air two with your sanctuary, and it's probably the same or better from a power perspective.
so. I guess the idea he's gonna upgrade F4 clearly. Like if you're gonna do this, you're definitely upgrading F4. You're also giving more leech doing that.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a trade-off. You're helping the other players a little bit more, and you are getting a lot. Like Mermaids did double dig F3 and D2, and they haven't built F3 yet, so they're gonna build there. But like Chaos will upgrade first, and so they'll just get a lot of leech from that hex. But you're using three workers. Like man, as Chaos too, those are valuable workers. I feel like I don't know. We'll have to see. I feel like round. Let's check in again at the end of round three and see where Chaos is at. And I think that'll be a good kind of. Uh, I think we'll be able to see have a
Yeah.
better, maybe a clearer view of this move and whether it was good or not.
Yeah. Another really interesting thing that just happened is dwarves, after sending priests to air with their first action, presumably because you think they'd be interested in single dig, then didn't take single dig and instead just built on E8. Now they might get it anyways now because it looks like because halflings didn't take it either. But I'm a little confused about a couple of the ordering of these things.
Yeah, I mean maybe he wants single dig to thread in F3, and now that Mermaids took F3, he doesn't care about it anymore. Like otherwise, yeah, single dig would have been threatened. I mean, I'm confused too. I have no explanation. No, there's no threat to five power priest air. Like that wasn't threatened at all. Um,
No.
I do wonder if Eirik is just going to tunnel here. If he's going to, Can he get workers and single dig, and would that let him do anything? No, not really. I'll let him get two more dwellings down, so he can open with five dwellings. I think that's reasonable, but yeah, it's
Well, or
just
if he got workers and single dig, he could build a temple and another dwelling.
that probably makes more sense than this crazy dwelling rush idea. Especially with priest to air, you probably want priest production to back that up, right? Like I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. One thing that's nice, so I mean, I don't think you could have counted on this, but this TP, the move from Chaos does look a little bit better now with halflings digging and building on G5. Um, a bit of extra leech that I don't think you could have necessarily anticipated was coming this round.
Yeah, it does. It's interesting that Firexed upgraded H4 first and then went to G5. I'm a little surprised he didn't take that immediately and then either upgrade G5 or just not upgrade it but get a little extra leech. So yeah, maybe because of that too, I didn't expect him to take it now, and that extra leech definitely counts for something. And maybe like so, I think Fruity is saying in the chat like maybe Chaos can take double dig in round two. I mean, they definitely can. Like maybe that's the idea with this. And I guess you double dig F5 and you secure that town. Like we did talk about that town potentially being threatened, and it looks a bit less threatened with Mermaids not starting G6. Like I don't know how interested Mermaids are in F5. I guess it would be nice for them, but it's not needed. But maybe it just like kind of squashes any of those potential fears. Well, Mermaids are on
I
G6 now,
mean,
so maybe they do want F5.
maybe not. I was gonna say like this now looks like potentially a nice sanctuary town, or if they got C5 also. But someone just pointed out in the chat. I missed it. I don't remember who it was. Fruity. It looks like mentioning that one thing with Chaos this way is they now may have. Well, not anymore. I was gonna say before they took that priest, they would have had tempo on double dig in round two to snag F5 for themselves. But now with this priest, that sets them behind the eight ball a little bit.
Okay, so Chaos do get the three spawn fire, and they get a temple this round, so they get a lot this round for sure. Like
It's still, yeah, and they'll have enough for double dig next round. I just think now Mermaids are going to pass before them, and so if Mermaids want to take F5 with their first action next round, they'll be able to.
all right, so we see Dwarves passing first. So Eirik opened with four dwellings, two tunnels,
Yeah,
priest to air, and now he's clearly taking double dig next round. So we do have like a semi-dwelling rush. I don't even know if you call it a dwelling rush. Like you only build two dwellings, is that a rush? I don't know what the definition is, but a bit of a hybrid opening, I guess, from for dwarves
the
here.
tunnel rush.
Yeah, I've done this on Fjords before. There was a seven-player game on Fjords and Snellman, and I was dwarves, and so because of seven players, everyone's sandwiched. And so I was just like, I need to
Yeah,
secure my territory ASAP. I'm just tunneling, and I opened three tunnels. So it was a very similar opening to this. I also ended up taking three econ favors in a round five temple round, so I don't think we'll see that in this game. I think Eirik will have better things to do than do three temples for econ favors in round five. But it kind of reminds me of that game. I think it has some play for dwarves, like the tunnel rush. I don't know if it's the dream opening for dwarves, but it can't be that bad. Like they're getting double dig next round. They're gonna, I assume, find a way to get a cult dig round two, and they can build more dwellings round three, and they're gonna score a lot of points. Like, right? It can't be that bad.
where do you think this double dig goes?
So Fadi is saying they just take F5 to connect, right? F5 and F8 maybe makes a lot of sense. But
Oh,
that's another tunnel.
F5 would
Wait,
be funny.
they can't afford another tunnel though, right? They have five workers. Like they've got to go temple next round.
Yeah, I'm thinking D4 looks kind of interesting.
I think I'd rather go D5 F8 just for the extra hexes than just D4. Although
Yeah,
halflings do threaten D4. That's but you can just town with D5 F8 E8 like and then maybe D6. So yeah, it's probably okay.
I mean H. They still probably have to be somewhat interested in H3 also.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that hex. There's a lot actually threatened for dwarves here, huh? We did kind of talk about it a bit in the auction, but it's one thing to kind of theorize it in the auction, another thing to see it come to play here. So you kind of, I think you see a bit
Yeah,
of the dangers of dwarves in this this combination of factions. What else are
we
we missing here?
do
So
have a full
Firexed,
temple dwelling rush from Mermaids.
Okay, that's yeah, a full dwelling rush for mermaids. So that's nice for sure. They're not getting the eighth dwelling out, are they? No. Not that it really matters. It's 2 points, but yeah, I mean, and they're the last to pass. The dwelling VP tile is open. The TP VP tile is open, so they could easily do 3 TPs next round. Especially wait, are they getting a coins action? I think they
They're one
halflings.
power short.
They are, but they'll probably get leached somewhere. But I think halflings might want coins. Firexed opened Air 2 here, and with the way his economy looks, like I think coins action makes a lot of sense for him next round. He probably does a second temple or something like that. So I don't think mermaids end up getting coins. But that would be super nice. Like if mermaids got coins, then they just pass on the TP tile. Like if they could, would you go for a fourth TP? I'm just thinking if you had the option as mermaids in
Just
round
say if
two.
they got four, if they got coins, they could build 4 TPs.
Oh, is it worth it? Like I always wonder if that fourth TP is
I don't
worth it.
think I would do that. I think I would. I think I would build 3 TPs and then hard dig and build G3, and you could even get a town.
I like that a lot. Yeah, I think I would go the town route as well. Early 2 key town probably makes the most sense. I guess you could do something else, but yeah, that could work super well. I'm so greedy. Like, how many times can you go 4 TPs in a round 2 TP round? Like, I can't help but be drawn to that. But like, I also don't think they have the coins to afford it without a coins action.
Oh,
So,
he also
oh,
just changed his mind and passed with dwellings. Boo,
damn,
best bud.
that's disappointing. I mean, objectively, honestly, probably. I don't think there's a huge difference between the two, but I think dwelling VP. It's more resources. It's got to be a pretty good move still. So okay, we also Chaos Magician's on the spade bonus, which is kind of interesting. Huh, where's that going?
He's either
Maybe
got an
this.
advanced ship or it's like that plus a hard dig on F5.
Yeah, that's ugly if it's a hard dig. I mean, maybe he. Oh, you can't even dig F5 gray and then single dig it because dwarves just tunnel there. Oh, you could delay. You could wait until
Yeah,
dwarves use all their workers. Eirik did just double dig and he took H3 and F8, so that's his plan. I think that makes a lot of sense. It seems pretty natural here.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see Redrame's game to see how it is like a bit of an experiment for Chaos, like how I've seen round one hard dig chaos games win. Like I know Zoros has done it before, where he started on the big building tile. It was on base map, and it was he hard dug that E7 gray first action, and that's kind of the same principle. And like it's a
Yeah.
really good leech hex. Of course, that's also like a really key hex for chaos. Whereas here F4 is like really nice, but not threatened at least, and not in the same way. Um, this is still kind of an interesting example of how that's gonna go for chaos. I really don't know. They are gonna get a ton of leech. Like presumably, mermaids are going to do TPs on E4 and F3, or maybe G3 and F3, whatever. They're going to give Chaos some form of leech there. Halflings don't have, I guess halflings and dwarves don't have to give them leech. But if someone else takes F5, that's more leech for Chaos. Like, yeah, they do get a lot of power. I mean, they're also giving up points for this power too. So, like, they're spending a hard dig to do it and points. Like, it's not nothing.
Yeah, it's just took coins, which leads me to believe he's almost like I feel like he's got to be a ship advance this round because it also then
Yeah,
sets him up to continue to do more ship advances next round.
I think it has to be as well. It's just so weird. I guess okay. So they advance shipping. They do 2 dwellings. Then next round they either pass an attempt ship and then do like another ship advance and go crazy. Is he gonna? What favors did Redrame takes? He took Earth 2 and Fire 1. Is he gonna be able to get Earth 1 before building all these dwellings, or like in round 3? Yeah, probably not. Right? I don't think he
No,
can
I
afford
don't think
that.
he's building. I don't think he's getting another favor tile until a round 4 sanctuary.
Yeah, probably. And so that's another trade-off here of the hard dig, because if you open Sanctuary round 1, you're on Earth 1, and yeah, then you get to score more points with all those dwellings. I mean, this way, I guess you're scoring 5 points for the Sanctuary round 4. Like, I guess that's nice, but yeah, there's so many little trade-offs, like little micro things that can affect it. Huh, Mermaid's upgrading F7 first. So it's an indication that like Kodom is not going for the town. I guess he's getting a lot of leech on F7. Yeah, it must be his logic behind that, right?
Yeah. Well, and once he took the dwelling style tile instead of the TP tile, I think that's an indication he might be more interested in building a temple and not spamming a bunch of TPs here.
Right. Oh man, that's kind of sad. I feel like TPs are better than the temple here. I don't know. Do you agree with me?
Uh, I could see an argument either way. I mean, I assume the temple's probably water one. Um, Priests are good, although he doesn't need priests for shipping this game in a way that you typically think of as necessary for mermaids. So I don't know. I liked the TP scoring tile and the hard dig and town route, but given you're on the dwelling tile and the TP is therefore worth relatively a point less, like maybe temple's decent.
So the priest income is definitely good. Like in this game, the round five temple event just means those priests will pay off with coins. But yeah, it's a bit of a dilemma though. Do they like if they go for a scoring favor, then they're kind of coin tight afterwards. They got a ton of workers, but not a lot of coins. And this is kind of the round to get your coin income going. Like I know normally in Terra Mystica, like early TPs aren't good, but they are good after a dwelling rush. They really balance the economy. Like, and I guess
Yeah,
he could do temple and another TP or something like that. It's just a little awkward. Maybe that's fine. I don't know. I would have gone TPs here and try to do more dwellings round three. Like I like your town path a lot, but I think this it's certainly fine. Like there's nothing wrong with doing a temple.
yeah. I think it's fine, especially if he can get the coins action next round. Like that's what he really
Yeah,
wants.
I think that's key. And this isn't the game you want to go fire one. Like sometimes that can be good for mermaids, but the late scoring is so bad. There's no ship BP. Like I really think you do want a scoring favor. Well,
No,
let's
I
see
feel
what he
like this has to
does.
be water one.
Yeah, you're right. It's water one.
Yeah.
I think that's the right call if you're going to go temple here. What else do we miss? Okay,
Love a
so
game where the first scoring favor taken is water one, though. That's always fun.
it is, yeah. No Earth ones to be seen anywhere. And I don't know if anyone, well, halflings might take Earth one here, but otherwise, I think factions are. Well, maybe dwarves take Earth one. No, no, they need that cold spade. Probably not happening. Okay,
Halflings just
halflings.
did.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense for halflings. Although, I guess they pass on to temp ship here and go coins action, probably. Or do you go
Yeah,
double
halflings
dig?
halflings economy is looking a little sad. I mean, I think mermaids might pass here for the coins action.
Yeah, probably. And then halflings also want priest to air for the cold spade. I mean, yeah, halflings
Oh,
can get
right.
by. I think they can find some digs. I think they can be okay. Yeah, it's the sad thing about this Temple of Earth one here for halflings though. It's like how many dwellings are they going to build next round? I guess we'll see. Um, yeah, I'm not sure. Chaos did advance ship and dig D1, so kind of what we thought might happen. Redrame will get another dwelling out on C3. So yeah, that's not the chaos path I was envisioning for sure, but it's fine. It can't be that bad. And then also one
I
for
think it's yeah, I think it's
dwarves.
okay. Yeah,
Okay,
dwarves
go
are
ahead.
just they have
Finish your thought,
nothing but
Matt.
dwellings.
Nothing but
No,
dwarves.
no, no. I was just gonna say I think the chaos position is all right. I was gonna say I think I like mermaid's spot here, and then I was gonna start talking about dwarves. So go ahead.
Mermaids do make up points so fast with the early dwelling rush here. Like it is such a good track for that. Um, Dwarves, yeah. What do dwarves go for? So they have six dwellings down now. They still have five workers and 14 coins. I think I saw Eric take a workers action. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So they must go temple, and I think either they have to want that air cult spade, right? So they have a couple ways to get it, I guess. I was gonna say originally I said air two, which makes sense, but it's a little awkward. Like you want it for the spade, but that's it. Like otherwise you don't really want air two as dwarves here. They could go water two and use the step for the cult spade. I don't know how good water two is though. The other option is just going like earth one and using that power to take a priest action. Well, actually, they just got priest action without needing to do that. So
They just took the priest action. Yeah,
So I think that answers
And
the
so now
question a
they can
bit.
probably go what fire one probably, right?
Fire one? Wait,
I
you
mean,
think so?
look at that. They have no coin production anywhere to be seen anytime soon.
That's true.
I mean, I know they've got a bunch right now, but those are going to disappear real fast.
Do you think it's better than just going points greedy, like going for a scoring favor and just?
Yeah, maybe it's just water one.
Oh, I hope he goes fire one now, though. I want to see that. That would be cool. Fire. I haven't seen fire one dwarves. Well, I guess since my triple econ round five in that game, but like, other like an actual fire one dwarves game, I don't think I've. I don't know if I've ever seen that actually. Have you ever seen fire one dwarves?
I've seen it with a sanctuary opening where you take fire one, earth two. I think that's the only way, or maybe a double temple.
Okay. I've definitely seen Air 2 as dwarves. Like Air 2,
Yeah,
Earth 3,
I've
that
seen
kind
air
of thing.
two, and then obviously earth two is super common.
Yeah. But I mean, Earth 2 here looks
Maybe
weird.
maybe they maybe they just go scoring. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's just a scoring favor.
I kind of think so, but I don't think Earth 2 makes sense. So I think it's something else for sure. Yeah, it's not super clear. They will run into coin issues without like if they go scoring favor. I think you just kind of accept that and just be okay with it if that's your plan. Like you will make up coins later in the game. Certainly by round five you have coins coming in, but there is a 6 coin bonus. Like dwarves will be happy to pass on the dwelling VP or spade, which all help a little bit, I guess. It's something. Um, Maybe you get a
Yeah,
coins action round four, although I don't know how much. I mean, I guess they're getting leech. Like everybody gets leech on fjords, but they don't have any power income. So it's hard to say right now how their coin situation is going to look like in the next over the like by round four, I guess. Oh, so interesting development. We have a chaos TP on E5. Wait, so Redrame's
oh, I
opening
didn't see that.
temple TP dwelling? That looks a bit ugly to me. I don't love that as chaos.
This is just pure track. Play the track, right? Like,
Yeah, I just don't you just save those resources for more dwellings round three? Like, doesn't that TP limit your ability to spread out round three? My instinct is it does, but I haven't calculated anything here. Um,
maybe
hmm.
maybe if he's like thinks he can't get to three shipping, but no one else is taking temp ship. I wouldn't think so.
No, can he get to 3 shipping and get like a worker's action or something? That would be nice.
Yeah, I
Maybe
mean,
with temp ship, I
if he
guess you
took,
could.
yeah, but now he can't because
Oh,
everyone just took temp ship.
right on cue. Okay, so we pass on to the big building scroll here. Okay, well, there's his workers on the big building tile, I guess, right? And
Yeah,
maybe he does a hybrid. I mean, maybe you stay on 2 ship here, take B5, C3, E1, dig another hex. I guess you can still get a lot of dwellings out. Yeah, you can take single dig on 2 ship and be okay. Like you can just dig A8. That's 5 dwellings. Yeah. So C3, E1, B5,
yeah.
A8, A9. That works fine. Huh, it's just so strange. Like
Well,
the
I've
round
been
two
looking at this by the
TP.
way. Like, I actually, oh, so Eric just goes with two TPs here. The more that I was
Oh,
looking at it, I actually really
huh.
think Fire One Dwarves could have been good here.
Oh man, that's a shame that we don't see it. Come on, Eric. Fickle says that Jekyll does Fire One Dwarves. Fickle, you gotta send one of those a Fire One Dwarves game from Jekyll in the Discord or something. I gotta see it. Yeah, this okay. So this dwarves game has gone from 4 dwellings round one into 2 TPs and 4 dwellings round two, and then they're just gonna do more dwellings next round, right? Like they have to just want to tunnel
Hmm.
and do dwellings. Ooh, they can pass on the dwelling VP or the spade. Uh, huh,
Yeah, I
a
feel
bit of a
like the
dilemma.
spade for F5 or H6 feels really good.
Yeah, I think I would go spade. It's just
And
weird
they're
because the
getting and then they're
spade.
getting a cult spade too.
Oh, they are. Yeah, I forgot about that. Um, oh, then you definitely go spade, right? Yeah, because that lets you get an extra dwelling down. Like without the cult dig, the spade didn't actually give you an extra dwelling, but with it, it does. Huh. This is a fun Dwarves game. I'm I'm excited to watch this progress. He does have his two towns, so we talked a bit about Dwarves maybe losing H3, but Firexed prioritized like H5, G5, E7 instead, and so Dwarves have two town spots. They can
Yep.
still connect on H6. Like we don't think Chaos are going to three ship, and so that hex looks open. The jury's out on whether they want H6. Oh, although halflings, like you talked about in the auction, halflings might want H6. They're kind of boxed in here.
Yeah. That.
Or I5, but H6 is just
Yeah.
cleaner for them. What have we have? So okay, Mermaids double dug. Um, interesting. Double dig and no coins. What they double dig? So F5 and G8. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so they took F5, so that immediately puts pressure on Chaos for the center town. Puts pressure on Dwarves for connecting if they want to connect. Kind of like like pins for everyone else in a little bit, I guess. And then that meant that halflings get coins. So FireX here, oh, he's got a cool path where he could go free ship as halflings. Maybe not necessary, but it's an option.
The third ship barely over just two.
So what did you say there, Matt? I got cut off a bit.
I said that the third ship for halflings is barely better than two. Like it allows one more dwelling, but I don't know if it would be worth the coin investment.
Yeah, probably not. They have three workers, two ship. With two ship, they have C4, G7, H5. They also wanted, like we said, get H6 or I5 for connections. So I think they might prioritize that instead. And so we see Chaos go Temple. Okay, so he went Redrame went Temple, Earth 1, Air 2 here. So he's got his Earth 1, and he's gonna he will build dwellings now with Earth 1. So we do end up having two Temple Chaos,
Right.
just in a very different path than I expected to end with two Temple Chaos here.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing that is really interesting about this situation though now is like so halflings just up their ship to two, so they're now threatening
Hmm.
C4. And with F5 gone, Chaos now has to like choose. I mean, he didn't. He just upgraded his ship, so he's gonna lose C4, and this is now gonna not be a town, and that feels pretty bad.
Yeah, now that I see it, that does feel pretty painful. Like in the auction, I think I was like, it's not that big of a deal. They can get by, but yeah, that hurts. I'm not surprised. Like I
Well, I
don't know
think
Red Rim.
if you had just stranded a sanctuary, that's one thing. But he's invested this hard dig and the extra hex and the two temples. Like, this is a much more painful town loss than it would have been.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, would you have Desperado dug C4 there as chaos, or would you just bit the bullet, been like, just let it go at this point?
At this point, he may not have had much choice. I think the hole he dug himself the hole earlier. I think
Yeah, no,
literally.
I agree. I don't think there's any way you dig it now. And I was like, I don't know Red Rim that well as a player, but I know he's an economic player, and I could not see him doing that kind of crazy like dig for to secure the town space. So I'm not surprised he didn't really think about it.
Yeah.
Um,
But are Chaos getting a town like anywhere now? Where is the Chaos town?
they have to find one, right? There's got to be a town somewhere for chaos here. At the very least, they can do some kind of bridge town from D1 to E3, E2, E1. Oh, could we see a double bridge town? Could we see D1, bridge to C3, bridge to E3, E2, E1?
Oh yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
at that point, you just expensive TP. Like it doesn't really make sense, but I hope we see it still. That'd be
Yeah,
cool for the
yeah.
memes.
Maybe we get a stronghold on D1.
That would be cool. I mean, late big building rounds, we got the big building tile in. Like, we definitely could see Chaos Stronghold here. For
You've got to request in the chat to make
full
the game
screen?
full screen if you can. Yeah.
Shoot, I'm not that like. Oh crap! I don't know what I just did. Wait, I would like to be. Can I just zoom in or something? I'm really not the most tech savvy, I'll be honest. Wait, zooming in doesn't work on BGA, huh?
No, just like resets.
Oh, I'm zooming
So I think
out.
if
It's
you
actually.
click that little next to the hamburger menu at the top, if you click that little button, the 4 arrows,
Oh, what the
that'll give
heck?
you some at least. I
That's
think.
so easy. Sorry, guys. I never used that before. Dude, I should use that. I just do turn-based streams. I don't even. Okay, well, thanks. Now I know.
Super just tuned in and asks, "What is Chaos Magicians doing?" And
Uh, they're building
I think
dwellings.
we agree.
Yeah, the so what are Chaos ending this round with? Like two temples. They're on two ship now, so they're getting C3 and E1, and that's it, right? So two temple, four dwellings. It's not terrible, but the problem is like they just don't score much the rest of the game for building out. Like if round four was dwelling round or something like that, and round five TPs, like I think this could be okay. But like now this feels just kind of painful. And then again, the missing
Right.
town is huge, like you said. Who do you like here?
I think it's I think it's between mermaids and dwarves for me. I
Yeah,
think
I haven't
halfling's
really.
economy just feels a little stunted, and the other two are just the pure resource
Uh,
difference is massive right now.
yeah, halflings are at like they're going to be at two temples, five dwellings though. That's pretty. I know they don't have a ton of resources in the bank after that.
I guess that's
It's that's
not so
not
bad.
bad. They're also a leading earth cult and tied for the lead in air cult. So I'm not I'm higher on halfling's position I think, but they might get cut off. Well, I don't know. Could we see a race next round? I guess mermaids don't really care that much about I5. That's kind of a big thing here.
Yeah,
So
dwarves didn't take.
they didn't take what?
I would say dwarves didn't take H6, so I mean it's still
Well, not
open, but they
yeah.
might take it with their first action.
Yeah, and I think it's a bit of an indicator that that Eirik has producing two power, but he's going to overproduce a power. Like he didn't convert an extra power. I think he wants four power to single dig, so I expect he's going to take H6 immediately next round. And he has a dwelling on his board, so he can do that. I'm just going to
Yeah,
show the boards a bit because I know last time someone requested that, so I'll kind of just hover over the boards. And yeah, look at the boards in terms of what everyone has down. Like you can see that mermaids have the best onboard economy, but dwarves is really good too. Like with dwarves connecting here, like I think this is very solid for them. They've done a very good job of
they
building
also
out
passed with
the first couple rounds, and now they're going to build up, and they passed in the dwelling VP. Yeah, like their economy is kind of flying here.
yeah
This
they passed with
four
10 coins in hand.
yeah, that's the power of that those TPs, right? Those round two TPs just producing coins for dwarves. I mean, their worker income is great. They've got a full worker production. They have no earth too, but that's fine. It's not the end of the world. Their cult position is not amazing, but it's okay considering they don't have a temple up. Like they have two priest cults. It's not that bad. And they have two talons. Like they're going to score points for sure. Yeah, I like dwarves a lot. Now that the more I'm
Yeah,
looking at it, the more I like dwarves here. So what do
yeah.
mermaids do next
Mermaids.
round?
I was just having the same thought. Like we see like sanctuary. I mean, they're gonna get the coins actions. They're gonna have a ton of resources. I wonder if we see like sanctuary air one and some TPs or something like that.
Yeah, I would think so. I think they want another scoring favor here. Earth one's still there, but at this point, Air one's just as good, if not better. They're on the six coin bonus. Yeah. I definitely think Sanctuary, and I guess they probably do a hard digger too. They could also advance digs. I don't know if you do that and the Sanctuary though. That I don't think they can't really afford both. And if you're going to pick one or
No,
the other, I would probably
that
pick
feels like
Sanctuary.
too much. But yeah, you could just advance digs. But if they could do, I mean, they basically have enough resources if they wanted to do sanctuary and 3 TPs, which would be pretty cool. Um, you're floating a couple hexes, like C5 particularly being the one that, like, if you build the sanctuary on F7, then you need C5 to finish that town. Um, but I don't know if anyone. Halflings are really the only one who would take that, and they would only do it as a block.
Yeah, once halflings have D4, they shouldn't care about C5. And I think Firexed has bigger concerns with connection here as halflings, and then town space D4 is so important for that. So
Yeah.
I C5 will be safe. Yeah, I think mermaids do something like Sanctuary, Air 1, a couple TPs, and a hard dig and a dwelling. Something along those lines. Seems like a pretty reasonable plan to me. We do have this immediate single spade, so I was right. Dwarves prioritizing connection. Yeah, Dwarves connecting looks good. I mean, it's a bit hard to say how the network race will shake out here, but like I, Dwarves still have 4 natural grays to tunnel to. I guess they probably lose A5 to Chaos. There's a decent shot at that. But yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe they're not competitive with mermaids and halflings on network here. It's a bit hard to say, but certainly with chaos, like dwarves should be able to be chaos on network. So just with that alone, I think connecting
Oh
is
yeah.
worth it.
Well, if they prioritize building out network, I think they could be competitive even with mermaids and halflings. I think the question is whether or not that's the best use of all their resources. Like, they still don't have a favor tile.
But it's temple's next round. Do you not just max TPs and dwellings this round? Like I would be so tempted to go TP dwelling, pass onto the TP tile for temple's next round. Like and then do sanctuary round
Yeah.
6. Like I that seems super fun to be in. Pretty decent. Like I think I might do that.
First temple round 5. That's a path.
Yeah, I really want to see it. But honestly, why Temple at this point? It's more points next round. Like, what favor do you take? I sure Air one's a couple points, but like, I guess the priest production is good, but so is coin production. I think at this point it almost makes more
Yeah,
sense
no,
to wait.
you're probably right.
You
Yeah,
could
I think you're
also
probably
go
right.
Stronghold in another tunnel because you are going to be tunneling more this game, so the Stronghold could pay off. You two have plenty of coins to afford it. Oh, he did a temple. No, Eirik. Oh. Okay, he gets water one though. He does secure water one.
Worried,
Chaos did the
worried about
sanctuary for
losing
water
water
one.
one, maybe. Yeah,
Yeah, I think so. Chaos sanctuary water one. Mermaids already have it, so fair enough. Although, I mean, if he builds TPs and dwellings this round, I don't think he cares about water one. He can just go Earth one, Air one, round 5. Oh, that would have been so cool. Oh, I'm disappointed. Super sick. I feel
that
sick. I
sanctuary
feel
is really sad.
yeah, I feel sick looking at the CM Temple and Sanctuary. It is really sad. I mean, it's still worth it to build a Sanctuary for Chaos at this point. Water one's important. Oh, he took water two. Nice. Um, it's a strange water too. I guess they don't know what else you'd do. Like maybe I'd take air one because it would score some points later. Fire two doesn't look super useful here. Nothing else looks really great, but yeah, water two doesn't do much for me either.
This is a really strange game in a lot of ways.
It is chaos hard dig round one, dwarves tunneling like crazy and just doing that kind of stuff. I guess halflings and mermaids games have been more standard, but those two alone have been exciting to watch. Also, so
Yeah,
there's not
yeah.
like I guess we haven't commented on this yet, but nobody is towned. I'm just realizing that. Like I'm looking at the cults and seeing that they're still like fairly open, and I think the big reason for that is nobody has two key towns. Does anyone prioritize
Yeah.
it? Does anyone go for it here? Because that looks fairly valuable. The cult races look like it looks like two key would help enough that it's worth taking. It's worth going for, even though it's later in the
Halfling?
game. I wonder if anyone goes for it.
Yeah. Halflings to me look like the ones who would be most interested in it. Besides maybe Chaos, but Chaos is so far from a town that I just don't see them getting it. The halflings I could see.
I mean, I still think mermaids might want it too. Although I guess the problem for mermaids with two key is you're not doing much on earth and air. And so maybe with that in mind, it's not super valuable. I think it's much better when it helps you secure like thirds and seconds on a lot of cults. and it probably doesn't for Mermaids. So yeah, and Mermaids also, I mean, they still have a ton of resources. I'm not sure. So he went Priest of Fire. He hasn't really like revealed what he's going to do this round, so no clue yet. But Mermaids could town if they wanted to. They could Sanctuary F7, upgrade G8, like hard dig G9, and build H8, and that's a town. So they have options to town this round. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if he goes
Yes.
for them.
So we see Dwarves pass for the TP scoring tile. So they secured their water one, which they was maybe a 4 point loss relative if they'd been willing to gamble and hold on. But he's now positioned to potentially build like a bunch of TPs next round and maybe another temple too, which could be really nice.
Yeah, I guess Temple Air 1 and TPs, and then still tunnel. Like just try to build out as much as you can. Basically, all your small buildings you can call them. They're not towning, I guess, right? They're
Yeah.
saving the Sanctuary for round 6. They still need. Oh, Chaos
Yep.
are on 3 ship and are about to be Dwarves at D6. So Dwarves actually, it's a bit awkward. They might want D4, but they're not getting D4. We didn't mention it, but Halflings do have Digs Advance now, and so Halflings certainly beat Dwarves at D4. G9, I think Mermaids want G9, so Dwarves aren't getting that. And to Dwarves, oh, I guess they just double dig C8, maybe. It's not the end of the world. It still gets
Yeah,
them
I
to
think
C9 as
they
well.
either double dig C8 or they also have the option to double dig I3 and put the sanctuary on E8. Both
Oh
of those
yeah,
could
okay.
work.
Kind of interesting. But the issue with all that is they've burned down to 4 power tokens. So they have no easy way to dig. There's no cult digs coming in. They're not in the spade bonus. I guess they can single dig and hard dig. I mean, they can plan to advance digs, but they have a lot of tunnels and stuff they want to do as well. They only have one priest income too, so
Mm,
it all looks a bit awkward from that perspective. I think
yeah.
losing D6 just definitely hurts a bit. We see a
Right, so we
mermaid
do get the
sanctuary.
sanctuary.
Ooh. And it kind of gives an interesting Dwarves Leech decision here. 4 for 3. Do you take it? Okay, he took it.
Yeah, the answer. Earth one. Earth one for mermaids.
Earth 1, Water 1 after a Dwelling Rush. It's always fun. Yeah, maybe it's the right call. I mean, I think it's very similar to Air 1 here, but you probably do get Air 1 round 5. And maybe dwarves take Earth 1 round 5, although I think they're also fine with Air 1 as well. So I don't think it matters too much.
And I think it shows that mermaids are going to build a couple dwellings this round.
Yeah, that's a pretty clear signal. Do you, hmm, do you play for dig advances as mermaids here? Like, not this round, I know, but like, do you play for maybe round 6 dig advances? I know, like, on Fjords, mermaids do have to dig more than normal. So it kind of makes sense from that perspective. There's also, again, like, no ship BP, so they don't need to go to 5 ship or anything. They can just connect on I6 and stay on, even 2 ship here. Actually, they can connect with 2 ships. So I kind of wonder if mermaids plan on advancing dig later. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I would lean probably not because they don't have a ton of priest production. It's more efficient points wise to put those towards shipping, and they do need some shipping, and they only need 3 more digs to do what they want to do.
That's fair.
Maybe
So
4. And so like, yeah, 3 or 4 digs is around where you might like break even
so what
on
hexes?
dig advances,
Like
but
G3 clearly. G9, I assume they want G9. And then
so they
maybe
need
like C2.
G3 and C5. They need C5 to finish that
Oh
middle
yeah.
town.
Right.
And then one of the hexes, they can take I6 or I8 or G9 to finish that town. G9 is obviously preferable because it opens up H8, but like you could get by with one of the other ones if you needed to.
Yeah, right. And they've also burned below 6, so there's no double dig coming from mermaids. But I mean, they dwelling rush. They're on 9 workers right now. They workers are not an issue for them, so they have no problem doing some hard digs here.
Yeah, I think it's just hard digs. Okay, well he does not build dwellings, just decides he wants the dwelling tile.
So at first glance, that seemed kind of crazy to me, but it actually, obviously the dwelling VP points are important, but it also lines them up to get Dwarves' TP tile in round 6. So it's a nice sequencing there.
Yeah.
If Mermaids can outstall Dwarves, which I think they can, Dwarves, like, in general, Dwarves aren't great at stalling, but they also, like, I don't think Dwarves are taking a power action. They're just going to be blowing through their resources with tunnels and temples and TPs. So I think Mermaids can outstall them, and so I actually kind of like that. I'm not sure what else he could have done this round. Like he could have gotten a couple TPs, dwellings, a town, not like in like still valuable stuff, but this it definitely makes a lot of sense to not just get the bonus for round 5, but also position yourself for round 6.
I mean, if half the one thing Mermaids could have done that would have been really nasty is dig build I6 and then build I5 and block in halflings.
Ooh, that would have been nasty. Um,
But he did not do that.
would that have been worth it? I mean, it doesn't really hurt mermaids. It's a natural blue. Kind of like, why not?
I mean, it's natural blue, and I6 you can use as your third hex for that town. I think the question is like, do you think halflings are the threat? And if I'm mermaids right now, I feel like I'm looking at dwarves a lot more than I'm looking at halflings. But
Yeah, I mean, halflings also could have just dug I5 away. Like Firexed does have an extra worker here, so we could have dug I5 to black, I guess, which that basically
that's true.
secures it. So I guess it doesn't quite work.
Yeah, yeah, he probably would have done that.
Probably. Yeah, so we haven't talked about halflings too much. So, like, Firex has 2 temples and 7 dwellings now. He is very coin tight for sure. But everyone's gonna get a lot of coins going into round 6, so he will be okay after that. I guess the question is what he does next round. Like that's not clear at all to me. He doesn't have water 1 also, so missing water 1, and so he scored a lot now with his dwellings and with dig advances, but that scoring will dry up a bit for halflings. But they do have 2 towns coming, so that's I guess points, and probably a few halflings digs here or there.
Yeah, I mean, I think this round he probably secures I5 and then builds a couple temples and sends a couple priests to a cult, and that's probably it.
You mean a couple of trading posts? Because he has got 1 coin in hand.
So that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Trading posts. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Well, he can town, I guess. So, yeah, maybe you town to keep the momentum going. He's also on the big building tile, so he could. Yeah, but it doesn't really make sense to do Sanctuary when you're going to take I5. Like, I think halflings just don't really want their Sanctuary then. Stronghold's just silly. Let's not even talk about that. So, so yeah, I think the big building tile is just 2 workers for him more than anything. So what are Chaos at now too? Redrame's at Sanctuary, Temple, and 6 dwellings. So yeah, a very solid economy now. He passed into 6 coins. It's got that going for him. Yeah, as Chaos, the only thing I'd be thinking about right now is towns. Like, where am I finding a town? What would I do? I mean, I think you advance digs as Chaos. Maybe not right now, but like round 6, I think, to form a town. I feel like that makes the most sense. You don't need it, but the points look good in such a low scoring like late track. Like I don't know if there's any better ways to score points. I maybe
Yeah.
are you fighting network as chaos? I kind of wrote that off, but like they do have H7. They can beat dwarves to F9 and get G10 if they want to. With 2 more natural reds, like maybe they can fight network, but again, they need to town, need to dig hexes for that, so I probably not.
Unless they think they can advance digs. That just makes the coin quickly, though.
Yeah, I'd be
By
tempted
the
to
way,
take this.
halflings got the coins action in third seat,
I saw that too. Neither dwarves or mermaids had
which
power
is
for
like
it.
game saving for them. And, like such a massive coins action for the halflings.
Yeah, that helps a lot. That 3 extra coins can make a big difference. That really feels like that might have help halflings get like an extra structure out to fight network or take a better town. Like there's got to be some form of points conversion that's going to contribute towards. Maybe helps them in cults in some way. Although looking at the cults now, I missed it, but all the pre-spots have gotten jammed up basically, except for water. So the cults aren't as open as they once looked here. But yeah, this has got to be a use for halflings
Yeah,
for those
we've had a
coins for
good
sure.
number of yeah, we've had a good number of cults this priest of cults just this round already because it is the temple reward.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. It's like the best action you can do in a temple around, basically. We also see two copies of Air 1 gone. So Mermaids did take Air 1 with the temple this round. So you kind of see when Earth 1 last round into Air 1 this round, and then Dwarves also took Air 1. I There's no way Chaos can temple here, right? I don't think it makes sense for them. The Air 1's not very valuable either, so there's no rush for it. And then Halflings, I guess he could take Air 1. It doesn't seem great. Maybe, well, maybe halflings could go like TP TP Coin Town, like Temple Air One, and another TP or something like that. Like that could be an okay path for them. But I guess either, but not the case here, or I don't think it'll be the case with Chaos.
No. Yeah, if I'm halflings, I'm just building out mounts, I think.
I think so too. But then, yeah, make sure
I
you
do
get I
think I do
five.
think a coin town for halflings.
Yeah, Coin Town looks good. It looks even with the coins action, right? It's like you still want more coins. Like they have 12 workers in hand, they have full worker economy. Like it's just coins that halflings need here. They also need they need two ship. I guess they don't need three shipping, but they might want three shipping for the points and for the natural browns. Like it just makes a lot of sense to go coins. We see Chaos upgrade. So Redrame upgraded that B5. Maybe he is going Temple. Um, you could go Fire 2 Air 1, I guess, and then plan to advance digs round 6 and dig out a town like B5, A5, A4, A3, or something along those lines is a possibility. I feel like it's got to be going for that. I don't think you would upgrade B5 otherwise. I think you'd upgrade D1 instead. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, it's interesting that that would be the town he's looking at as opposed to like E1 through D1 with a bridge. But it's
Yeah,
two more spades.
two more spades versus a bridge. Although I guess you also need an expensive TP with the E1 town, right? Like a bridge and expensive TP, or the two bridges like we
Yeah,
talked
fair.
about before, the two silly two bridge town. I guess with that in mind, it makes sense. Can wait. Do you think Chaos can get two towns here? Is it possible that with Temple for Fire 2 and whatever, Air 1, and then he upgrades digs, can he get A5, A4, A3, and E3, E2 bridge and expensive TP? Is that crazy? Like, is that too much to ask?
Sounds like a lot.
Probably. I got big ambitions
I'm
sometimes.
gonna go. I'm gonna guess no.
I'm gonna guess no as well. I don't think it's completely out of the question that it's possible, but I think it's probably pretty unlikely because they need three trading posts as well. Like that's a lot. A bridge and an expensive TP, 10 coins for dig advances. Okay, probably not. It's also so weird. Like right now, Zero Town Chaos, like Super saying in the chat, Zero Town Chaos winning two cults. Like it looks like it's gonna happen. Who's beating Chaos on Fire or Earth here? I don't think anyone is. And they will get a town. They will be able to lock one of them up at least. So their Chaos's cult position is actually okay. I think we also really feel like the low scoring nature of this setup. Like no one's game is really a lot of games look good, but looking at the scores, like everyone's scores are pretty low for round five still, right? Like Dwarves leading the pack at 74, and that's gonna go up for sure this round, but like no one's blowing us away with points. This game.
Yeah.
And I guess part of the reason is
Well,
because
part of it is
no one's towned.
we still don't have a town.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's actually a huge factor. Towns are points. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. They're it's kind of weird. Like usually in the game without a town round, like people not intentionally town early, but like usually towning early in Terra Mystica is a good thing, unless you need to save your towns for points later.
Yeah.
So it is kind of strange to see a game like this with no town round and no towns formed yet. Although mermaids can form a town right now, so that could change very quickly.
Yeah, but even so, like what you're saying is like it's especially in a game with no town round, but honestly, even in a game with the town round, there's usually at least someone who's like, I'm gonna grab the 2 key town, you know, early on. But I think the nature of the way that everyone expanded kind of scattershot in the first couple rounds because they were dwelling grounds means that there weren't very many good town opportunities even. There were a couple lines that we'd identified like mermaids over here in the west where someone could have gone for something earlier, but nothing that really screamed it. And the early cult rewards weren't that great. Um, like so,
Yeah, that's actually a really good
I mean,
point.
go
Like
for it.
early dwelling grounds favor like shipping, tunneling in this case, like whatever, like expanding out, and they also don't give good cult rewards. So that combination really, I
Right.
guess it naturally leads to later towns. Yeah, I hadn't really thought about that before, I don't think. Huh. Yeah, that's a really good point. Okay, Two-Key Town is gone. Mermaids took Two-Key Town here. He took the 8-point town, then undid and did Two-Key Town. Kind of interesting, actually. Huh. Is Two-Key Town better than the 8-point town here? Like, it doesn't give any more cult rewards. It's the temple round, so it doesn't affect that. It, like, mermaids are not going to win fires. Well, I mean, Chaos can't lock it up for a long time. Maybe mermaids can sneak up fire, but it's a big investment to do so. I don't know if it's worth it for them. Tuki Town maybe helps them like get the lower cults in Earth and Air, which I thought wasn't going to happen, but I guess it helps. Yeah, is it worth it? Huh.
Yeah, I'm
Hard
not
to say.
I'm not sure I love it to be honest.
I think my gut feeling is that it's not. That I wouldn't go Tuki Town here. Like at this point, it's a bit too late, and the cults are a bit more spread out now. It's not that valuable. It also doesn't give that much more power than the 8-point. Oh no, it does give more power than the 8-point town, but not like a huge amount. So yeah, I'm probably against it too.
Well, and if you
Oh,
really needed power that presumably is like going to become coins, like is a coin town not just better at this point? Or maybe even a ship town for mermaids? It's not like he's got a ton of priests.
I mean, I guess without the cult steps, locking up water is kind of tough. Without at least one cult step. Like with an 8-point town, you can spare one priest to water. Although, yeah, even that when you don't have a lot of priests isn't great.
I
Um,
guess maybe
hmm.
part of his concern is that if he doesn't take the 2 key town, then halflings are probably the most next likely one to get it, and then all of a sudden water is threatened. Water that are tied on fire and water is threatened, as opposed to the spread that you see now. Like it's a 4 step difference, but I don't know. Yeah, it's tricky.
I feel like I tend to think that Tuki Town is usually more worth it than I think it is at least. Like I feel like a lot of the time I'm like, is a Tuki Town really necessary here? And then you go to the end of the game and you kind of see the cult difference and it makes a lot more sense. So we can reflect back on that later. In the meantime, so a couple of things happened. So Halflings secured I5. They did connect. They actually, yeah, wheeling it to round 5. Wow. Kind of crazy that no one really wanted it here. But also, Dwarves just single dug and hard dug C8 for that town. So they fully committed to
Yeah,
it, took the Priest town. And that's almost their round. Like, Dwarves don't have a whole lot more to do here. Maybe another tunnel. Well, they're on the TP tiles. They probably want one more TP, and then I guess they just pass. But yeah, we do see that single dig, hard dig, that some kind of dig we thought might happen for Dwarves. Some kind of funky dig.
yeah, and I mean dwarves are still in a nice spot here. They've got can as you said can build one more TP to score, and then next round are nicely set up to build. Either a sanctuary, definitely a sanctuary town down in the south, and whether it's a sanctuary and the stronghold, maybe, and then they've got uh, couple free grays for another tunnel or two. Just depends on exactly how many workers they have left, but still have some points coming in, which is nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out now who's winning this game. Uh, do we are we still on Dwarves? It's not as clear anymore. Like, there's not going to be any kind of dig bobbing or anything like funky like that we're going to see with dwarves for sure. Oh, I guess,
No.
but dwarves are still doing pretty well in network. They're still getting 14 structures, right? Like they have to be. And I don't see halflings getting to 15 structures. Well, actually, maybe halflings do get 15 structures here. Like with all of those cult coins coming in, like that's a lot of economy. So mermaids also might get 15 with the dwelling rush opening here. Like just I not looking at their resources too much, but just like theoretically with the dwelling rush, it's so good economically, like it makes sense for them to get 15 structures. So I don't know. Do dwarves get a lot of network points? Oh,
Yeah, I don't know how many network points they get because also any more structures at this point are probably coming via tunnels. They do still have some grays open to do that, but once you start spending workers on big buildings, those workers go away quickly.
yeah. It's a bit of a dilemma for dwarves. It's like I usually you want your sanctuary at some point as dwarves just for towning purposes, but like it always just kind of feels sad to sink us like just throw all those workers into the big buildings when they could be tunnels, they could be dig bombs. It's like yeah, always a little painful. We also just see chaos double dig. So wait, so Redrame did his temple on B5, then he does a trading post on D1, then he double digs F9 and E3. These are like completely different paths to me. Like,
I
um,
mean, it seems to me like he's just pushing network, basically, right?
yeah, that's what I see as well. Like, I don't think you take F9 if you're not going for network because the dwellings are like they're 2 points, sure, but otherwise they're not a whole lot. Um, but like if chaos, wait, are chaos getting 15 structures? No, there's no way, right? They have two more natural reds. They need to dig 4 hexes. Yeah, I don't think so. And if you're not getting to 15 here, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe halflings can't get to 15. Maybe mermaids can't. But like, I'd be worried about fighting network and only getting to 14 and just getting 3 network points. Like that feels really sad if that happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so from I think Dwarf Hamster in the chat, try to guess the winning score here instead of who. What will the winning score be? Is it going to be 150? Like, is anyone going to hit 150 this game? I
Um,
My instinct is no. My instinct is like high
no, I
140s.
think it's in the 140s. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Um, and Fatty say I don't think CMs are towning. Maybe it is a zero town CM game. Don't you want to town as chaos? Like I feel like
At this point, as CMs, if they're towning, the town has got to be stronghold on D1 and a bridge. Like that's the only one that's seems realistic to me at this point.
yeah. Wait, they have fire too. They must be towning. I know they could just take
Yeah.
fire two for the cult steps, but like they would take fire three otherwise, or maybe fire two gives them the option at least. They also need to lock up a cult. Like I feel like they might lose fire if they're not careful. At least if mermaids are getting to 15 structures, like not calculating, but if they do it, then they need to build another temple anyways, and fire 3 makes a lot of sense for them to go for if chaos aren't closing out fire. So like I think the town is worth it from that perspective. Although mermaids can still beat chaos to the top of fire because chaos is so slow here with towning. Actually I think that might happen. I think we might see mermaids snatch fire from chaos. That's pretty sad for chaos.
Yeah, I just don't know if they'd have to build another temple. I just don't know if they want to build another temple, but maybe.
Oh, you think they want stronghold round 6 instead?
Yeah, that was my initial thought, but maybe not.
Hmm. Yeah, you definitely don't need Stronghold
I guess
here.
the 4 points from fire is like almost as good as the 5 points from the stronghold. Although the stronghold also gives shipping, so I don't know.
Yeah, Stronghold
Also,
costs more resources. Yeah, go ahead. What do you see?
yeah, I was gonna say we just saw halflings triple dig B4. So they're going for 3 towns.
I did notice that too. I kind of like that. I forgot about that plan for halflings. They go for
Yeah, me
three
too.
towns. Yeah, do they go fire two this round? Look for the third temple here. Because
Yeah,
they need fire
probably.
two for these towns, right? I feel like without fire two, these towns are difficult. So yeah, fire two
Yeah,
into. Oh, I wish they had like enough resources they could do like fire two coin town TP dwelling or something like that.
yeah. I gotta go on mute for 1 sec, Barn.
Okay, no problem. I'll ramble on. Oh, they can go. Wait, does that work? Yeah. Okay, halflings can go temple fire two for a town and then go a TP here. Then they end the round with 3 temples, 2 TPs and 7 dwellings. Oh no, 3 temples, a TP and 7 dwellings. That's pretty cool. Um, oh, he took a worker's action. Okay. And we do see this kind of come to fruition. I mentioned the idea of mermaids last round, like passing behind dwarves, and we see that exact like scenario play out here, where dwarves pass first. They had the least actions here, so they pass under priest, and then mermaids right away hop on that TP tile. So mermaids do a really good job of scoring from the bonuses in the last couple of rounds. You really kind of see that decision pay dividends here. The question will be is how many more points can mermaids score? Like they're at 75 points. They have 2 more towns coming. They've got at least one ship advance. They're building stuff on Earth One, Water One. They have Air One. They have a lot still. They have a cult. They have at least second on fire. They're doing well on network. Okay, yeah, I think mermaids are in contention here. Oh, hey, Derange. See you here as well now. Kind of sad that halflings are scoring 0 on the pass. Yeah, just the oh no, they're not. They're not. So okay, Firexed won Sanctuary. Really? Okay, I didn't expect that. I really thought he would go Temple Fire 2 instead. They're both 4 points. The Temple is cheaper and it frees up another TP. Like maybe I'm crazy with halflings getting 15 structures. Maybe it's not possible here. I'm not really calculating it out. But I think it's kind of clear that halflings aren't going for 15 structures. Like it looks like here now halflings are going to be content to take 14 structures. They just took 2 8-point towns, so they're just shooting up the cults. Actually, they're putting a lot of pressure now on Chaos and Dwarves, who don't have an easy way to lock up these cults right now. So kind of interesting. Yeah, I think that's happened quite a bit this game actually, where we've like Matt and I, or either Matt or I have said something and got like immediately proven wrong. Like as soon as we say something, the opposite happens in the game. So maybe a bit of a theme of this game. We see that happen here at the Sanctuary. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. I did not expect the Halfling Sanctuary this round. Yes, I I I don't know if I love the Sanctuary either. I find it hard to believe it's better than going Temple instead. Or to save the Sanctuary for round 6. I guess it's one extra point then. It's not a big difference. I wanted 15 structures for halflings. That's all I want. And I just know the sanctuary prevents that. Like again, I don't know if they could have done it without the sanctuary, but with the sanctuary, there's no way because that doesn't help them at all get more structures out. And I think that's significant. Like the network race here looks fairly tight, as we kind of talked about a bit earlier. Yeah, we'll see at the end.
I'm back.
Okay, did you hear things that were going on there?
No, I did not. I had to take a phone call. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. You missed the Halfling Sanctuary. So Firexed went Sanctuary H4 for Fire 2, and then 2 Cult Towns. So I'll give you a
Oh
sec
wow.
to process that. So we're
Round
talking about that
around
a bit.
early.
They were on the big
Yeah,
building tile, so it was
around
one
early
less
on the
point.
sanctuary. Although he was on the big building. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So one less point, but like the temple was 4 points too. Um, but I was saying now this like really prevents 15 structures. Like
Right.
there's it's definitely not happening now. Um, yeah, what's the upside of the sanctuary? I'm kind of struggling to see the advantage of going sanctuary.
Why the sanctuary instead of just like a temple and another TP?
Yeah, that's my thoughts too. I don't know.
It's even the same price.
Same cost. Temple TP is better
Yeah, it is.
uh, economically, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Um, yeah, okay, let's wait, what did
Yeah, it's a weird
okay,
one.
so Dwarves first action this round. It's been such a funny Dwarves game. They pass first like every round, but never have power to do anything with to take a power action, like other than taking single dig one round. Like I'm pretty sure the Dwarves have always passed early and always just like done something immediately that's not a power action. And this time he immediately builds Stronghold. Like so Dwarves one action into the round have 4 workers left, which which is a little sad.
Well, and the next action almost certainly is a sanctuary, so then he's going to have no workers left.
Uh yeah. Oh man. Ouch. Oh,
Although
that's
he
so painful.
probably takes a worker town and also those priests look potentially like fancy workers in this scenario.
Right, right. What's he getting down after Sanctuary? So two tunnels. He has two dwellings on his board. I assume he gets A7, C9,
Two
and that's
dwellings.
kind of it. No? A TP and
That's
two
probably it.
dwellings.
Maybe if he got a little bit of leech, is there a way he could find a TP and then A5 also? Maybe
That would be
he'd have
crazy.
enough workers. He'd have enough workers, so he just needs
Uh,
coins.
no, he's
He actually
short
no,
workers,
he has
I
enough.
think,
I
right?
think.
He needs
No, he's
four from
short workers.
Sanctuary.
Yeah,
Yeah, he gets a worker town, but he still needs
yeah,
two
yeah, yeah,
more. But he can get power for a
yeah.
worker's action. Oh, but then he doesn't have coin. He only has 10 coins. He doesn't have a whole lot
Then he's
left.
short. Yeah, he's short coins. So that one's not
Okay,
happening.
Strange saying in the chat for the temple TP that they were coin short. I think they could have gotten the coin with the town, but I didn't realize that Firexed actually had five priest to cults, so you wouldn't produce another priest at temple. Okay, that's fair enough. Um, hmm. Yeah, this dwarves game has been so much fun to watch, though. I'm I'm really thankful for it. Yeah, it's been a blast. It must be fun to play, right? Like I would have fun playing this dwarves game. Look at their cult
Oh
position
yeah,
too. Like they're on the two spot on Earth. They haven't gone up Earth whatsoever. They've gone up one step in water from water one, and everything else has been air. Like three priests to air. He has air one, and that's it for
yeah.
dwarves cult game. It's so funky. And
Losing
also,
losing air here is pretty bad for dwarves. Like
yeah, I was just going to comment on that as well. I just saw that halflings are beating dwarves up air. So three priests to air for dwarves and air one, and they still lose air. Ugh. That, I mean, not the end of the world normally, but like 4 points is, yeah, 8 point swing on another faction. Like, and especially in such a low scoring game, or like a low scoring track like this, I find the cults are like more important than usual. Like, you just need points anywhere you can get them, and yeah, losing those cult battles it just sucks. So interesting with Fire X because you did a temple for Air 3 there. Um, and he has two towns. He does have Fire 2, and he's going to get a third town. So Fire X will do two TPs. They can build A4 and build A3. Um, and then he can still do another dwelling, I guess, in a ship advance, something like that. How many structures is that? That's 13 structures. Um, I guess dwarves are only getting 13 structures, so that ties dwarves on network. Chaos, uh, Chaos are getting 14 structures here. I think Chaos are getting second on network somehow. Wow.
oh, here's mermaids chasing down chaos on fire, like you said.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's coming to fruition. Nice to see some predictions come true. It doesn't always happen, but feels good when it does. Whose position do you like here? Do you have a one more like take on who's winning this game?
It's surprisingly tight. I feel like mermaids might have a comeback in them here. Like they're low on the counted points, but they're gonna win two cults, and they've still got two towns incoming. They've got a pass tile that dwarves don't have. They're gonna do well on network. Oh, are they? They're gonna get to 13 too. Everyone's at 13 structures. What the heck is going on here?
Wait, they must be more than 30. Wait, mermaids
I don't
must be
know.
more
I
than
think
13
mermaids are.
structures, right? Mermaids are, I mean, they're taking C5 and they're doing so TP. Well, maybe they do want Stronghold for their town, I guess. They can get to 14 though. I'm sure mermaids can find a way to get to 14
Yeah,
structures
it's.
with their
I mean, it's
resources.
worth it for them to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just need to get. They also need to get to 3 chipping, or I guess
Unless
they
they
could
think
dig I6.
yeah, it's an option at least. They might want I mean if they go
Yeah.
Stronghold, oh they still need a ship advance. I like they can kind of figure that out later in the round, I think. Um is it um hmm. I don't know. I'm trying to think if it's worth it for Mermaids to skip Stronghold, but if they're not going Fire 2, they probably wanted the town anyways, so probably not. We also see Chaos Stronghold. Hey,
Yep.
on D1, we have a
Yep.
Chaos
There's
Town
another
coming.
prediction.
Yeah, we did nail that. See him around the big building tile. So yeah, I just seeing that. I and that the Stronghold is cool. It's 9 points. It does hurt their network, but it also lets them town. So it's probably still fine.
Yeah.
I thought,
I am regrettably am going to have to jump off here. I pick up my son from daycare at 5 o'clock my time, which is in 10 minutes. So I'm gonna have to let you close this one out, but this has been awesome to watch.
yeah, no problem. Thanks, Matt, for joining. I'm glad to not have someone else to talk to, so I don't have to talk to myself the whole time. It's nice. So before you go, you're saying Mermaids are winning?
Yeah,
Your final prediction?
I'm sorry I'm jumping out. Final prediction: Mermaids, but we'll see if I'm right.
All right. Thanks, Matt. See you later.
All right. Yeah,
For,
absolutely. See y'all later.
yeah, for the record, I think I agree with Matt. I think Mermaids are winning too. They're so behind on points right now, but they've got a lot of resources. They've again got the two towns. They also have Air One. We didn't mention that, but they have all the scoring favors. So like everything they do this round is points. And I think they'll catch up to everyone else like relatively quickly. And it seems like they're coasting to like a pretty easy network win, two cult wins. Like that's a lot of end game points. So yeah, I feel like they'll be good. Um, was it really not worth it for Mermaids to make a third town? I mean, I think they are making a third town, right? C5 is still open, and so Mermaids probably maybe they just single dig C5, and C5 also gives them A11 on four ship, although it's not super easy for them to get a four ship. Like they can do Stronghold, Ship Advance, and Ship Town. But that's kind of weird. Um, oh, it's actually I didn't realize all the high scoring towns were gone until Eirik just undid. So we'll see how it goes. But these Mermaids towns might be lower scoring, so maybe a bit of a bummer, but it also might help them build more, which again, they're scoring with everything they build, so it's not that big of a deal here, I don't think. Um, will Halflings temple for Earth 3? That's a question. Do they have more temples? No, Halflings don't. Oh, they do have a temple. Wait, what? Okay, I don't know. I thought this dwarf temple was a Halflings temple or something silly. That would be. Oh man, I guess have that. They can't. But like, I guess they could Earth 3 and still town. I mean, they still have like 13 structures if they do that. Which I guess ties dwarves on network. Maybe ties chaos. I don't know. Like I have to think the extra structure is more worth it. They do have Earth 1. They don't have Water 1, so no points for that. Um, I kind of hope. Oh wait, no, Earth 3 is gone. Who took Earth 3? Oh, dwarves took Earth 3. Okay, wait. Eirik just took Earth 3 with a sanctuary. Okay. Wow. That's a sad Earth 3, but you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, I guess, huh? Does that Earth 3... Wait, dwarves have full power now. They can't TP in Dwelling, can they? Oh, they're one coin off, right? Am I reading that right? Or what did he just... Wait, what happened? Hope my internet's not being funky. It's been okay so far, I think, but... Wait, I swore that dwarves had four priests here. Okay, never mind. I missed something, clearly. Um, yeah, I mean, dwarves are at 121 in game, which is nice. I guess their end game is pretty sad, so it's not a whole lot more. They do have Air One, getting some points from that. What else can they do here? Can they do anything else with these resources? Ooh, I hope the stream didn't die. Can anyone? let me know in the chat. Can you still hear me? Is the stream still working? Let me check in very quickly. Okay, it's just Matt. It seems okay. There might be connection issues. I'm not sure. Or do I have to? I can also leave this call. I don't know if it matters. Okay, the audio works. All right, that's good to know at least. Is the screen frozen? Because it looks kind of frozen from what I'm seeing. Oh, okay, video's been choppy the whole way up. Yeah, sorry. My internet here is not great. Like I definitely feel it streaming. It's kind of painful. All right, well you can kind of follow along still, so that's good. Okay, so dwarves use everything for the sanctuary. Okay, and then he just did a dig bomb. Um, oh, he dug halflings A3 to black. Um, huh. I did notice he was thinking about that decision. I didn't really see what he could do there. Uh, huh. Ooh. Oh man, does that kill halflings town? No, halflings can still town, but they can't. There's got to be something else that affects, right? Maybe that like prevents halflings from getting another structure out. I'm too lazy to do the math right now. Okay, so everyone's saying the stream's alive, but like on life support. Well, I think it's internet related, so I don't think there's much I can do about it. Yeah, sorry about that. We also see we see mermaids advancing dig. Okay, do they have full? No, it's a partial dig upgrade. I didn't. I talked about mermaids dig advancing earlier, but like not at this point in the game. Okay, that's interesting. So this is going to be for C5 for sure. They also have a town here which they have made but haven't formed yet. And I'm assuming, how are they doing this town with that dig advance? So they use 2 workers to dig C5. They build a dwelling. They have 5 workers left. Then they do TP and F5 stronghold TP. They can't afford that. Um, huh. I don't know. I'm just gonna let Kodom do it. I'm not gonna. I'm too tired. I'm too hungry to analyze right now. He can do it. We'll reflect back on after. Okay, yeah. So yeah, the dig must hurt Halfling's network. That's the only thing I can think of is that dwarves dig bomb really kind of prevents Halflings from getting another structure out. Like otherwise, Halflings maybe go workers action, worker town, stuff like that, and go like TP dwelling, and they can't do that now. I didn't see what town they took. I think it was a okay, it was a ship town. Um, yeah, I guess that 1 worker does really prevent another structure from halflings, huh? Yeah. Fair enough to range. Is it a bad move? I don't know. It's 6 points. My gut feeling is at this point it's probably not a great idea. Like they probably have better. Again, they have all 3 scoring favors. Like they probably have better use for those resources. They need a ship advance anyways, unless they're digging I6. Maybe they are. I don't know. Um, I'll just I won't judge it. Let's just see it play out. Then we can see. Yeah, dwarves act 5'd A3. They single spaded A3. All right, so dwarves finished with 128 in game. Actually, a lot more in game than I thought anyone was scoring here. Halflings just passing. Isn't a workers action better? Wait, why don't halflings take workers and do 2 digs? They have 3 resource points this way. Oh, that's just 2 points in a resource point. Okay, it is the same. Yeah, never mind. Priest doesn't do them anything. Huh. Halflings could have afforded. Oh, they actually could have done workers action. Wait, yeah, couldn't have. Oh no, no, Earth 3 is gone. Right, right. We talked about that before. Dwarves, dwarves taking Earth 3 means halflings can't do workers action temple for Earth 3. Okay. Oh, and I guess Chaos would just lock up the cult. Chaos finally has a town now, so Chaos has the ability to lock up Earth. So that was never happening, even if Earth 3 was there at this point. Okay, let's look at Chaos' game again. I haven't looked at Chaos for a bit. So yeah, Redrame town. He got the 11-point town. Um, he's got his stronghold up. The double action is pretty useless here. I don't know what he does with it. What else does he do in general? Like, I guess he goes to. Oh, he has water one and air one, so he definitely wants one trading post. Like maybe two TPs, a TP and a ship advance, something like that, probably. Um, I think makes the most sense. Maybe another dwelling house. Oh, he needs shipping to connect. And I guess with a TP dwelling, he is fighting network. Can he afford that? Can he do TP dwelling ship advance? Um, no, he's one resource short, isn't he? Yeah. Ooh. Wait, right? Am I missing something? He can send a priest to. Yeah, I think he's one power short of doing that. Okay. That's sad. If he can't get that last structure down, that's actually really sad for Chaos. That's a big difference. Like halflings and dwarves are at 13 structures here. Like Chaos not being able to match that is a pretty big network swing. And I don't know if Chaos were winning even with that, but like yeah, wait, Fatty, you can send Priest to Earth, but does that give him the resource? Am I missing something? Isn't he still short of power? I think he is. I don't know. I don't trust my math right now. It's definitely not. I'm too hungry to have good math. Yeah, if only the double action could do something, huh? Can are mermaids giving chaos any power here? Mermaids can give chaos power on a F5. Wait, what did he do? Wait, what? Red Room convert he converted 3 power and a worker into a coin, a priest into a worker. Um, okay, I don't know, but it's pretty clear. Yeah, he's not doing that last dwelling. Wait, he has 13. Wait, did he? What am I missing? I don't know what's going on. Whatever. He got 13 structures. Okay, I missed something. Oh, I'm curious now. I don't know. I blame my laggy internet. I probably missed something silly. Um, okay, so we got to 13. So we did tie network. That's big for sure. Tied for like second on network. Wait, what have mermaids done? So mermaids just they went stronghold here. They town. Wait, they're only getting 13 too. Oh man, Matt was right. Everyone's getting 13. I thought people were getting so many more structures here. Um, yeah, I guess mermaids don't even have a hex for the 14th structure. But with the ship advance, they had A11. I think that's why the dig advance looks really bad here for mermaids in hindsight, because couldn't they just have advanced ship and got another dwelling out on A11? I think so. Yeah, I think that's actually a big difference. Although, let's see it play out. I think mermaids are still looking pretty. Okay, let's see. I don't know. The Great Terra Mystica Countdown. It's not too often you see everyone tied at 13 structures, especially on Fjords, like such an economic map for everyone. Like usually you see just like booming economies and like 15 structures and maybe like I don't know, 14 to 15 is pretty common on Fjords. Like 13 like this is pretty rare, but yeah, I guess not a lot of incentive to build out with a late track is maybe part of the reason why, but I also feel like someone should have gotten to 14 here. All right, 9 points around. Yeah. So it looks like Matt's prediction was right. Both of our prediction, I guess. We both thought mermaids were winning, but mermaids do win. And we also kind of predicted the score right. Like the score is in the high 140s. No one got to 150 here. It's actually quite close in the end too. Wow, the spread from first to fourth is 8 points. I mean, not crazy close, but all tight all around. Dwarves finishing second with that crazy four dwelling opening into two TPs, four dwellings round two into like more dwellings round three. Yeah, and then the chaos hard dig and no town in the center. So they Redrame does get third and still scores 140 with all that stuff going on. Yeah, and losing a cult and fire, so kind of cool to see that able to recover like decently well and still have a very solid game. And then Firexed Halflings last by 1 point. Oh, he's short one more resource point to tie that, huh? Man, that extra structure for anyone here is like haunting. Does everyone have a dwelling on their board even? No. Okay, only Chaos and Mermaids have an extra dwelling. Huh. Yeah, 13 across the board. Nice. Okay. So I don't think I'm going to do a winner's interview or anything. I need to get moving as well. As I've said, I need to eat. But this is cool. It's fun to cast the game. I love casting. Fun to do it with Matt and kind of share some ideas and also learn a thing or two. And nice to see game on Fjords. Like I love Fjords. Get to see a cool Dwarves game plan here. Um, yeah, I don't know. It was a lot of fun. Looking quickly at the chat here before I finish. Hey Firex, Dwarves digs being halflings last. I guess so. I guess so. So if halflings get that structure, and if they get a 14th structure, I mean, do halflings just win? Probably, right? Yeah, that actually could be a big swing in the game. Wow. Um, Probably made sense for dwarves though. I guess it gets them second here. So yeah. Um, yeah. Okay. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. Um, Thanks everyone in the stream for chatting. Um, Sorry for any connection issues I had. Like, hopefully most of the stream was good enough at least that you can kind of understand everything. Um, yeah, I can't wait to hear you roast me. I don't know, Ira. We were pretty thrilled with your like. It was pretty fun. It was a. We were very happy to see what you did, except for not building a temple or building a temple round four. We wanted you to save it for round five because that would have been cooler. But yeah, otherwise your game was really fun to watch. Yeah. Anyways, thanks everyone for chatting, and see you all whenever I stream next. All right, take care.